one's for the men who hate women.
Wow. We're not even a second into the video, and we have Alexis here already starting to project. But nevertheless, it's me again. They hate me, that's why they give a fuck about me at the same time. As always, JD Miles, the Mgtows, they love to hate. Even the ones that claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate Mgtow at the same time. And I'm back again. Where apparently we got Alexis here from Politics, giving out her version of Blackpill, Mgtow, and everything else. However, not just myself, but many people clearly sees the flaws of her argument. And I'm here to debunk her arguments entirely. You see, one thing I noticed is that Alexis fails to do her research when it comes to any male groups, but rather she wants to give out her version of what it's about, which is absolute bullshit. Let's just call it spade a spade. But let's start the debunking. And before I begin, this video is titled Under 107 the Fair Use Act for Critiquing and Teaching Educational Purposes Only. With that being said, let's get started, shall we?
Understand that the majority online are pushing an ideal that is far more extreme. There is a majority online that do promote hopelessness, that do promote looks as being the most important thing. And not just the most important thing, but the be-all and end-all.
Guys who have taken the black pill.
Mgtow is part of an underground movement called Incel, which stands for Involuntary Celibate. Comprised mostly of men, Incels resent women for not showing romantic interest in.
The fact that Alexis is using a biased news outlet to tell people what incel is, when in actuality, it has been proven that the problem with the incel community is so complex. You can't just say the problem with the incel community is one issue without highlighting all the other issues. But hey, this is what Alexis wants to focus on, and which makes no sense, which further proves that she didn't do her research at all when making this video. But let's continue.
No. The feds say Mgtow took his resentment to a dangerous level by plotting to, quote, slaughter women at a college in Ohio.
Participation in the black pill community is a source of both venting emotions and actually receiving negative emotions. And if you look at mental health communities on the internet, what we tend to find is that everyone there is talking about acceptance and validation, but no one knows their process.
Exactly what he said. No one knows how to process it because everybody thinks they have the answer. They have the answers and the solution. And because of that, they think that the solution is cut and dry when in actuality it's not, and they wonder why the problem persists. But let's continue.
The black pill movement is a group of men who have left the dating market. They have deleted all dating apps. They are no longer asking women on dates, and they have no intention of ever getting married.
So I don't think many men actually benefit from marriages.
Okay, we come to our first debunk of Alexis' desperate and failed attempt. So basically, what Alexis is trying to say is Andrew Tate is black-pilled. Wait a second, last time I checked, Andrew Tate is red-pilled. So she's already screwing up with that notion. And keep in mind, last time I checked, Andrew Tate be around a lot of women. So that completely debunks that shit, because she's trying to make Andrew Tate come out to be black-pilled, even though Andrew Tate is the opposite of being black-pilled. Come on, Alexis. You can't be this dumb to even consider that Andrew Tate is a black pill. Again, this is what happens when you fail to do your research, but let's continue.
relationships anymore.
In fact, they strongly discourage any romantic feelings towards the opposite sex at all. I actually empathize with where radical feminism has rendered men as a whole, and in a quest to rightfully take back your masculinity, I'm worried that you've hitched your trailer on the back of a movement that is bound for self-destruction, and that is the Blackpill movement, or Mgtow, which stands for men going their own way. Just like when
Okay, I can now tell Alexis to shut her ass up forever. What gave you the idea that, oh, the black pill is the Mgtows? Really? Last time I checked, the black pills and the Mgtows are not only two different groups altogether, but last time I checked, the majority of black pills do not get along with the Mgtows. But if that's the case, then Alexis, please explain. How can the black pills and the Mgtows be from the same place at the same time when they don't even look when both sides don't look eye to eye and don't get along with each other? But according to you, Alexis, you believe that Mgtows and incels are the same thing. See how fucking dumb you sound saying that? But let's continue.
women fall prey to the lies of feminism that have entrapped us for decades, lies about abortion, a career-first culture, birth control.
Now, is it just me, or does Alexis is starting to come out as feminist? No, it doesn't shock me at all to know that Alexis is a feminist who's trying to speak on things that she don't know shit about. This is the reason why she puts so much emphasis on feminism. But let's continue to hear what Alexis here has to say.
Men are just as capable of falling for detrimental lies in pursuit of doing the right thing.
So if I'm hurting about something, let's say I'm starting to take the black pill, and I feel those negative emotions.
Okay, my next debunk here. Why does everybody think that Reddit is the end-all, be-all in all situations, especially when it comes to male groups? I swear to God, these idiots, these straight up idiots, think that Reddit is somehow the 10 Commandments. Riddle me that. Let's continue.
What I'll do is gravitate towards a community that validates my experience. And as I gravitate towards that community, I feel better. But then sometimes what can happen is the community itself can become toxic. As this starts to happen in a community, it actually worsens our mental health and distorts reality even more. We have a common phrase for this now, which is an echo chamber.
Every day, regular conservative men with good intentions are falling for the smoke and mirrors of black pillars who want you to believe that you're only...
Okay, let me stop you right there, Alexis, because I ain't gonna lie when I say this. What does conservatism has to do with the black pill? Nothing. In fact, I find it funny that it's the libtards and the far left that always want to put everything that stands opposed to them on the other side of that fence. Basically, Alexis is trying to put black pill on the conservative side. It was last time I checked, black pills have no political side at all. And once again, Alexis has just shown just how fucking, excuse the language, Alexis has shown just how much of a fool she is by even making that statement. But let's continue.
true conservative if you abstain from feelings, relationships, and sex with women. They fail to see the value in the very thing that true conservatism supports: family.
Maybe because they're not conservatives like you think, Alexis. Ever thought of that? And let me go ahead and talk about this right here. I don't know why these clowns steady trying to put groups on a side. Most of the male spaces have no political side at all. They're not left wing, they're not right wing, they're not the donkey, they're not the elephant. But yet you got people constantly putting them on a side, which makes no sense. But let's continue.
I think that one of the reasons feminism was so appealing to women is not just because it offered answers to various plights women face, but because it validated and unified them. The patriarchy. They felt that they lived in a society rigged against them.
Oh, and here's a fun fact. Did you know that feminism was created by the CIA? Imagine that. Let's continue.
And for first-wave feminism, there was some truth to this. Fortunately, today, men and women coexist in a society where they are legally equals. There are no exclusive rights for men that I do not have access to. Still, it's difficult to dispute that men aren't under attack. For one, women can freely hate men anywhere, in media, academia, entertainment.
Some of you are like, well, not all men. And of course, it's all men. Literally every single one of them. Hate them.
Now she just proved our point here. She just proved what all of us been saying. Because it's funny how she wants to talk about men hating women, but you want to know why men hate women, Alexis? Well, you're showing this to us right now. There are women who hate men. But oh, the women who hate men gets a pass. Oh, their hatred of men is okay according to society. But oh, y'all so quick to jump on men and their sexism. You see your own hypocrisy here? Let's continue.
Hate them. Someone was like, what about your dad? Especially my dad.
I know it's popular right now for female creators and influencers to say that, men can function without women and that they're so much better. Obviously, I disagree with the feminist point of view that women are the better sex. But my hot take is, what if both of those are equally destructive because both genders need and depend on the other?
But wait a second, Alexis. If you're going to preach about equality, then why is your video completely one-sided? Keep in mind, Alexis, your video isn't about just men going their own way and feminism. No, your video is titled Men Going Their Own Way. So cut the equality bullshit. I know you're trying to sound like you're down the middle, but everything shows that you're clearly not. Let's continue.
Conservative women watching this, I know you're familiar with the concept of taking a red pill. The Blackpill movement takes the idea of the red pill even further, where red pillars believe that they've been awakened to perception-altering truths about the world around them. Black pillars feel that they've had a similar awakening about women in relationships. They deeply resent how our culture and the social environment have become hostile to men. Let's talk about some of the valid grievances the Black.
And once again, Alexis answered her own question. You can't talk about one without talking about the other. Brilliant. Let's continue.
Pill movement has. Take dating. They say that the Me Too and Believe All Women movements have made it extremely difficult for men to risk normal flirtation or dating without having to worry about having their lives ruined. Fair. The Black Blackpill movement paints a picture of dating in the modern world that is not so pleasant for men. Studies suggest that there are as many as 9 men for every 1 woman on dating apps. Research also finds that women are much more selective than men on online dating platforms, which might be why women have a success rate on Tinder of about 10%, while men have a success rate of only 0.6%. The Blackpill movement looks at events like Mgtow as examples of how society treats men with a double standard and is quick to vilify them.
Ansari was accused of acting inappropriately on a date. The anonymous source characterized the encounter as sexual assault. Ansari released a statement saying in part, "I was surprised and concerned. I took her words to heart and responded privately after taking the time to process what she had said. I continue to support the movement that is happening in our culture. It's necessary and long overdue."
As the phrase innocent until proven guilty suggests, our justice system is supposed to be one of presumed innocence. And this is important because 2 to 10% of sexual assault allegations are falsely reported. But Me Too was extrajudicial, encouraging society.
And you wonder why the black pill exists, Alexis. You wonder. And out of all the men who got Me Too'd, how many of them were falsely accused? So of course, not just the black pills, but most of the male groups in general would look at it as they say, a witch hunt. And also to keep in mind as well, the term "believe all women" was coined by Acacia Ford. You know, the one who falsely accused Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault. Yeah, she the one who coined the term "believe all women." In which I would say personally, I'm not going to believe all women. I will believe the evidence that's brought. But that's just my take. Let's continue.
To believe all women, whether the evidence is on their side or not. The Blackpill movement is quick to highlight marriage rates. And it's true that marriage rates are falling. In 1970, the marriage rate in the US was over 76%. Now, it's at an abysmal 31%. And even if a man manages to get married under these circumstances, the Blackpill movement notes that he doesn't always have agency over whether or not his marriage lasts. After all, more than 2/3 of divorces are initiated by women. Blackpill
Alexis, it's not just black pills who's saying this. The red pill saying this, Mgtow saying this, the entire manosphere is saying this. So Alexis, how did you come to this conclusion that only the black pills are saying this? I don't get this at all. Let's continue.
Point out that family courts, particularly in the United States, but also in the Western world in general, grossly favor women over men, specifically in cases about divorce, child custody, and alimony. The evidence?
And once again, is it just black pills saying this, but all male groups, or is it all male groups saying this? That includes the black pill. My God, let's continue.
Approximately 90% of child custody agreements in the U.S. give preference to the mother. On average, in the U.S., the mother is granted 65% of custody time, while fathers get just 35%. As for alimony, in 1979, the Supreme Court found that alimony should be gender neutral. Gender neutral is not some weird box to check on a college application. It meant that alimony shouldn't be biased toward one sex or the other. So that's a good thing, right? In practice, no. Get this.
Exactly. Well, that's what they say, but how come alimony favors women more than anything? But let's continue.
As of 2010, 97% of all alimony and spousal support are paid to women. This is despite 40% of all U.S. households being headed by female breadwinners. So men do get a bit screwed, if you ask me. So why even get married? That's exactly the point.
Well, if you know all this, Alexis, why do you stand opposed? That's everybody's question. But let's continue.
Black pillars are trying to make. Outside of relationship dangers are other systemic double standards against men. Falling college enrollment and graduation rates, rising depression and suicide rates. It's a war on men out there. These issues are real things that many conservatives, myself included, have observed and spoken about because they need to be addressed. I can agree with some of the movement's diagnoses, even if I don't agree with its prescriptions. But as with third wave feminism, the Black Pill movement goes so detrimentally wrong in its execution of changing society. This is when it is no longer rooted in conservatism and becomes more like incel behavior, which is...
And once again, Alexis, you're trying to put Black Pill as conservative when Black Pills in most male spaces have no political side. How hard is that to understand? So what you call conservative clearly has no side at all. But let's continue.
Berry soy, not alpha. If you don't know, incels or involuntary celibates belong to an online subculture who define themselves by their inability to attract women, which, newsflash, isn't particularly attractive to women, making the whole thing kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
The thing I hate about incels is like they always make it women's fault, right? And the lesson I get out of that, ladies, is really it is our fault. Because we should have more weirdos in high school.
Their ideology developed in places like the dark web, 4chan, and subreddits. If you don't know what a subreddit is, imagine a full dirty diaper trash can inside of a dumpster inside of a landfill. It's as toxic for a woman to be there as it would be for a man. Sadly, incels paint with a very broad brush to present the following picture. Young, attractive women, they believe, only want to date and sleep with chads, aka attractive, fashionable frat boy types. The incels think the hot girl will finally come around when she's ready for marriage because they're smart and they're going to be making more money. But be wary, they tell them. Even if she agrees to marry an incel for the financial benefits and stability, she'll deny you sex while continuing to sleep with chads on the side because you're ugly. I'm ugly. And when the marriage inevitably ends in divorce, those same women get to walk away with your children and your money. Traditionally, the incel response to this perceived paradigm has been to mope and be mean to women on the internet. In the tragic and extreme case of the 2014 Isla Vista killings, a young man dubbed the king of the incels, Elliot Rodger, killed 6 people and injured 14 others.
And while she claims that incels pick everything with a broad brush, isn't that the same thing that you're doing, Alexis? You're painting incels with a broad brush. And I myself studied the incel community. So basically what Alexis is saying is all incels would go on mass shootings, killing innocent people, and which of course that's false. I'll leave a link to a video in which I completely broke down the incel community, as well as how society is not helping their problems at all in the comment section of this video. But let's continue.
Near UC Santa Barbara before killing himself.
Disturbing video. Rodger called it a day of retribution. Here's the latest. Police say there are at least 10 crime scenes, 7 people dead, including Rodger, son of a Hollywood director.
So this ideology can be and has been very dangerous. It's over.
And as I also pointed out in that video, society ain't helping them at all, in which I exposed all of that. And another thing to keep in mind, Alexis, not all incels are Elliot Rodger. Not all incels is going to go on a mass killing, mass murder spree. Some incels are completely shy. Some incels ain't out there trying to harm nobody. It all depends on on what incel you're dealing with, in which I said I broke down all of that in a previous video. Again, the link will be in the description box, but let's continue.
Overlap with the Blackpill movement is not complete, but there are striking similarities, particularly in the way women in dating are framed.
And once again, Alexis is falsifying this. And what I find baffling is how they try so hard. They trying so hard to put incel in each and every male group, when in actuality, incels are in a group of their own. They're not part of the Black Pill. They're not part of the Mgtows. They're not part of the Red Pill. They're not part of the Manosphere. The incels have their own community. And it's amazing, and it amazes me how they steady trying to push this BS argument. But let's continue.
Primary difference is in how the Black Pill movement suggests men respond. Black pillars are told to go on the offensive, to use women before women can use them, or to just reject women entirely. Pickup artists adjacent to the Black Pill movement claim to teach men how to attract women, but the Black Pill movement equates romance to simping. So if a man wants to use a woman for sex, that's one thing. However, if he starts to fall in love, they tell him he should end the relationship. Men are also...
That's false, Alexis. And how did you equate that? And how did you equate being a pickup artist to simping? That don't make no sense. And as many content creators have plainly put, there's a difference between simping and being aware of the opposite sex. And no, just because a man talks to a woman, that don't automatically makes him a simp. It's how he goes with the process that will determine whether he is a simp or not. Say, for instance, if you're a man, that will do anything, even put down other men and everyone else for a woman. That's a simp. Get it? But let's continue.
Also encouraged to get vasectomies so they can have sex without the worry about attachment or responsibility that comes with having a baby.
And that's their business and not yours, Alexis. So why does it bother you? But let's continue.
Snip. You've no idea the physical toll the 3 vasectomies have on a person.
The Black Pill movement treats this as a restoration of the proper order of things, as men assuming dominance over submissive women, and even invokes the Bible's authority on the issue. Even weirder, they'll tell you having sex with women is gay.
To go from, I'm the red pill, I'm fighting the matrix, I'm a freedom fighter, to, who cares about that? I have these beautiful girlfriends. They sound gay. You know who else rolls around with girls and talks to them? Gay men.
That's why it's important that we
Okay, well, Alexa just said absolutely makes no sense. And may I ask, Alexis, where are your receipts on this besides some funny news anchor? Where are the black pillars going around saying men having sex with women is gay? The projection is at an all-time high. Let's continue.
understand what the Black Pill movement is, and just as importantly, isn't. Because it's not conservative, and it's definitely not biblical. Collectivism, and collective guilt in particular, is a staple of left-wing thought. When the Black Pill movement treats all modern Western women the same, asserting that they all act in a certain manner, that's no different than when the left demonizes, let's say the unvaccinated. That's not what conservatives are about. Sure, some women, right?
And Black Pill are not conservative, Alexis. Again, why are they trying to put these male groups on sides they don't belong at all, period, is beyond me. But that's all I'm going to do on this matter. Alexis, please do better research before you make a video embarrassing yourself here. That's all I'm going to say. I'm done and I'm out this bitch. Later.